I've been married 17 years to a Jew and then with him for even longer. And I didn't realize how much Judaism was already in my life. But I felt I just didn't know enough to convert. But I still had this this nagging spiritual feeling. When I get home, someone had brought in the mail and there was the Buffalo Jewish Journal. One article in particular that caught my eye, which was written by Leslie Kramer. And it was talking about there's different levels of Judaism. There's different types of how people interact with the community or with the religion. It's not one set way. After I read that, I reached out to Stacy and Miriam at the Buffalo Jewish Federation. They met me out for coffee and then we talked. And they had mentioned the Momentum trip. When we went to the Judean desert, we started on camels. It was just very tranquil. There was like an easiness. It really was just a great community feeling. They had a naming ceremony, which I took part in. Malka Aviv. I chose to go with Malka since it means queen, and I'm the queen of the household, so I thought that was fitting. And then Aviv, it's kind of like a new beginning, a spring for me. I can't say I've ever felt that rallied around by people. And, you know, I still feel that way now that we're home. Like I've never been like in the middle or in the thick of things. It's like I'll kind of watch from the sides. And I finally feel like I want more than that. I finally just hit that point where I was like, I'm ready. This feels 100% right. So I had reached out to Rabbi Alex at Shir Shalom and said, I'm ready to convert. When I got to hold the Torah after I converted, was a great feeling. Ramona, my oldest, had her bat mitzvah in July this year. How proud I was of her was the main, I think, emotion of the day for that. I'm looking forward to just creating some new Jewish traditions for our family to have and to enjoy. That's the belonging I feel like I have now in the Jewish community. I don't feel like I'm on the outskirts anymore. I feel like I'm in the center. They're not tears of sadness, they're just tears of joy that I just truly feels like the right thing for me, the right fit.
I am on a Discord server, which is a social media platform with a bunch of kids from my grade and my school, and we talk about school and teachers and homework. And one of the kids was on the Discord one day asking for a book recommendation for his English class or some sort of project, and another kid suggested Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler as the book he should read. Everybody else just laughed it off. Nobody really made any comments. I wasn't quite sure how to respond, how to react, how to process those kind of emotions. It's not something I expected to happen. Social media is a platform that can sometimes be hurtful. I ended up not saying anything. I removed myself from that situation. The real way to prevent a lot of this, stop a lot of this, is by doing student-to-student education and talking to people face-to-face in person before they could make these kind of comments. Teachers will invite us to classrooms, and we'll typically have like a class period. They'll have all their students come in and we'll go through our slideshow, go through our presentation, and usually we have lots of time for questions. We do training that taught us how to teach a certain segment of the presentation we'd give, for instance, Jewish life cycle, kashrut. We have a segment about Israel, Holocaust, anti-Semitism, various holidays that occur throughout the year. We have a book that we use as a tool when we talk about Holocaust and anti-Semitism, and it has the word Jew written in it 6 million times to symbolize how many Jews died. Of course, I was a little nervous at first. It's a lot of responsibility. Judaism is a big religion. It's hard for one person, one group of teens to explain it all to somebody who has little to no concept of what Judaism is. When you get real responses, real reactions from the students, from the people you're teaching, whether it's asking questions, whether it's interrupting to raise hand or make a comment or share an experience they've had, that's I think when you feel the proudest, because you know that people are really interested in not only absorbing, but really learning, and they want to know more.
You hear things online, or maybe if you've never met somebody that's Jewish, and you get all these predetermined thoughts about them, but then you actually meet somebody that's Jewish and you learn a little bit more about their culture. It's just like any other religion, you know, it's nothing to be worried about, or no need to be anti-Semitic or anything like that.
Sometimes you're the only person in the room that might be Jewish, or you're surrounded by people who don't know what it's like for you and your family. And so to be able to confront an audience of people who are from another religious or cultural background, I think takes even more courage, and it's just a testament to how wonderful these students are and this organization.
In an ideal world, you wouldn't need student to student. I think this education would just happen naturally through society, but because student to student is needed, I think it's really important. If I can change the perspective of one person, I think that's the program will have done its job.
Almost like magic. You open your mailbox and there is this little piece of gold that sits in there. It's like that kid won a prize. But what's better is the kid didn't just win that prize, the whole family wins that prize. Those books just enable that time for parents to be able to connect with kids. That time is precious. Some kids may just look at the pictures. Some kids may read it cover to cover 100 times. But within it, there's always a little sleeve that talks a little bit about the concepts that the book is trying to convey. There are so many people in our community who may be unaffiliated, who may be new to the area, who may be an interfaith marriage. And this is just a way to say, you're important, you're special, you're valued. PJ also will host a lot of events for kids, for families.
We went to an event, a pool event that was wonderful. We went to 2 of the different PJ in the parks, which were absolutely lovely, and he had a blast running around after the other kids and with us chatting with other families. It was really wonderful. We're transplants to Buffalo. We don't have a lot of family in the area, so it's wonderful to have that way to connect with people and to meet people and to spend time with other families.
It's very touching to me thinking about the people that make that gift possible, for people to stay in touch with who we are as Jewish people, and for another generation, our kids, to also have that connection. Books are so important, and it's even bigger than books, and that's really a powerful thing.
When I was approached with the idea of getting behind this project, I jumped at it 100%. My children don't benefit from it directly, but kids do. So I always have made an annual gift to the Federation. I've done that because I support what they do, I support the mission, I support the great projects that it helps to keep in existence. It's a wonderful thing for people to be able to help each other out. The whole concept of Tikkun Olam, to make the world a better place, to make the world a brighter place. And it doesn't have to be something big. That's the other thing. You know, a million little things that people can do can add up to something momentous. And that's really, I think, what we're trying to do.